All right, well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the public meeting for the draft subsequent EIR for the housing element update and safety element update for the city of Elk Grove. My name is Christopher Jordan, and I'm the Director of Strategic Planning and Innovation for the city. I'm joined this afternoon by Corey Risha and Pat Angel from Ascent Environmental, who are helping us out with this effort. Before we get too far into this, a couple housekeeping items. First off, you'll notice that video and audio for our attendee audience is disabled by default. We are recording this event and we'll be posting it to the city website in a couple of days once the recording is compiled and we've prepared the closed captioning. So you can certainly visit that up on the website and the other videos that we've had at elkgrovecity.org/housing element. We are accepting questions, of course, during the presentation and at the conclusion. You can use the raise hand feature or the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen in order to initiate that. The objective for today's meeting is to provide an opportunity for public comment in the EIR process. To get us started on that, I'll go ahead and hand it over to Corey.
Thank you, Christopher. Okay, let's see, next slide, please. Thank you. So the project description, we're here today to talk about the housing element and safety element update project. And as part of this project, we will be amending the city's general plan, which will include amendments to the text of the city's housing element. And it will also include amendments to the land use designations and zoning of up to 43 sites that have been identified for inclusion in the general plan housing element. Now, we also include some text changes to the safety element. Next slide, please. So, as is mentioned in the EIR, this document is a subsequent EIR to the City of Elk Grove's General Plan Update EIR that was certified in 2019. Now, this subsequent EIR analyzes changes to the general plan associated with the housing element update and the safety element update. And the public review period for this subsequent draft EIR is February 12th until March 29th. Next slide, please. So in this subsequent EIR, we evaluated these 14 different topics shown on the screen. These are the different sections of technical analysis in the EIR. Next slide, please. And of all of those, we have significant impact in two sections: public services and recreation and transportation. Next slide. And even with mitigation, we found that there were significant and unavoidable environmental impacts. In the topic of public resource or public services and recreation, there was impact 3.12-3, which is an increased demand for new public school facilities. There's mitigation that is included, but this impact was nevertheless found to be significant and unavoidable. And also in the cumulative context, this impact to public schools was also found to be significant and unavoidable. And in the topic of transportation, it was found under impact 3.13-1 that implementation of this project could result in an exceedance of the city's VMT thresholds. That's vehicle miles traveled thresholds. And again, we have mitigation to help reduce the impacts, but it would still be a significant and unavoidable impact. And again, this would also be the same for the cumulative context. Nope, you're fine with the next slide. There we go. So the environmental review process. The first step was the notice of preparation and scoping effort that we took part in several months ago. We had a scoping meeting. There was a notice of preparation. An initial study was put out to scope some of these issues. And so now we have drafted the subsequent environmental impact report. And now it is time for comments on the draft subsequent EIR. And that's where the public comes in. We are taking comments again. February 12th was the day that this started, and then it goes through March 29th. And so the next step will be in responding to all these comments, which will be part of the final subsequent EIR. And then after that final SEIR is prepared, then the city can consider certification of the document. And after the certification, then the city can consider whether to take action on the project. So that's a quick overview of the environmental process. And there is Christopher Jordan's contact information there on the screen, email address for submitting comments, also mailing address if you'd like to send them in hard copy. And I think that is it.
Great, thank you, Corey. So now's the time when we're opening it up to the audience. If you have any comments you'd like to make on the EIR process, we're accepting those now. You can verbally provide them. Again, we are recording, so it'll allow us in order to respond to those in the final EIR. But of course, you can also provide written correspondence to us, and I can bring that address, both the email and mailing address, back up on the screen in a moment. So with that, I'll turn it over to the audience. Please use the raise hand button if you'd like to make a comment or ask a question. If you're on the phone with us today, you can press *9 and it will raise your hand for you. Not seeing any hands raised. So I'll go ahead back to this slide. As Corey mentioned, the comment period is open through the 29th. So it's a week from Monday. If there are any comments anyone has, please send them to us so that we can be able to respond to them in the final EIR. So one last check to see if there's any hands raised, any comments to be made. Okay. Well, we want to thank you all very much for joining us today. Appreciate your participation in the process. Again, we are continuing to accept comments on the EIR for the housing element update and the safety element updates. So thank you and have a great rest of your day.